Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me today is Jay Huseman. Welcome to the show, Jay. We're here for the Bristol preview for the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
And it's going to be a good one, I guarantee you that, because it's Bristol. I mean, I don't know. Have you ever seen a bad Bristol race? Honestly,
no. I can't say that I have. Okay, this race is the SciAps 300 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, the track is a 0.533 mile concrete oval, making it very different. And that race is this Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern on the CW network, their home network for the Xfinity Series. They'll have pre-race coverage starting at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, as well as radio coverage on PRN and Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Now, they'll race a distance of 159.9 miles over 300 laps. First stage is 85 laps, ending on lap 85. Second stage, also 85 laps, ending on lap 170. And then the final stage is 130 laps, ending on lap 300. So there is some other coverage that you can watch for on Saturday. They'll have practice and the Kennemental pole qualifying on the CW app. And that will start at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. And then the practicing Busch Light qualifying will happen before the Xfinity Series race on Saturday. That will be on Amazon Prime, PRN, and Sirius XM starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, the race starts at 5 p.m. on the CW network, PRN, and Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. So we've got some storylines and headlines here for the Xfinity Series. But before we get into that, Jay likes to tell us what's in the lineup.
Well, and you were talking about qualifying there. You definitely want to keep an ear on or an eye on if you can watch it, because two cars won't make it. There are 40 drivers and teams on the entry list here for a full field of 38. So two drivers or two cars and their driver will miss the race. The number 07 is going to be Nick Lights. The 17, Kyle Larson. We talked about that headline. He's going for the triple again. The number 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing is Justin Bonsignor. The number 24 is going to be Corey Heim. We'll see how his story goes with the weekend of double duty. The number 35 is Greg Van Als. The number 45 will be Mason Massey. The number 53, Mason Maggio. The number 66 is Tyler Tomasi. The number 70, Thomas Annunziato. And the number 74, Annunziato. The number 74, Dawson Cram. And then the number 91, CJ McLaughlin. So again, we will have a full field with two drivers going home. Now I'll jump over to the headline notes and storylines. This weekend is the 82nd running of a NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Bristol Motor Speedway. And that goes back as far as 1982 up through 2025 now.
Okay. Bristol means that the Dash for Cash is back for the Xfinity Series. It is the third Dash for Cash race in 25. The first was at Miami, the second at Martinsville. We'll have the third at Bristol, and then the fourth and final Dash for Cash race will be next weekend at Rockingham.
And in this series, the Dash for Cash, Bristol specifically, you have to qualify, and that's how you finished from the last race. The drivers eligible this weekend, the 00 is Sheldon Creed. The number 7 is Justin Allgaier. The 21, Austin Hill. And the 44 of Brennan Poole.
Very interesting. Okay, Justin Allgaier won the bonus at Miami. It was Austin Hill winning the Dash for Cash bonus at Martinsville. And those are the only two winners so far in the first two Dash for Cash races.
And I'll wait and see. I think we got more info on that when we break it down. So I'll wait and go into some of the stats. So we'll go to pole racing. Talking about that pole qualifying, Joe Gibbs Racing is one pole away from 200. They are the only team to have reached over 100 poles. So not only have they reached 100, the only team to do that, but they're looking for number 200.
That's amazing. Brandon Jones snapped his 98 race winless streak last weekend with that Darlington victory. All 6 of Brandon Jones' wins have come with Joe Gibbs Racing.
Now, Kyle Larson mentioned doing the triple duty at Bristol. He's going to run in the Truck Series, then the Xfinity and Cup as well.
Larson won Cup and Truck races at Miami and finished 4th in the Xfinity Series race due to a last lap incident that opened the door for Austin Hill.
Now, when we look at trying to accomplish this feat, it's only Kyle Busch to have done it before, to win 3 National Series races in a weekend. It happened at Bristol, but he's done it twice as he swept in both 2010 and 2017. So even if Kyle Larson does it once, he's still behind Kyle Busch because Kyle has done it twice.
Exactly. Okay, let's talk about Jesse Love. He's making his Cup Series debut and doing double duty at Bristol.
That's right. Now, a couple others doing the double duty from the trucks to the Xfinity in this case, though, is, as I mentioned, Brandon Jones and then Corey Heim. Jones going over driving a truck, Corey Heim coming over driving in the Xfinity Series.
Okay. Now, the only past Bristol winners in the field this weekend are Justin Allgaier with 2 wins and Kyle Larson with 1. I would say those are the 2 at the top of the list to win this weekend.
Wow, but they're the only active winners. That one I might look at taking the field versus one of them, but they're strong, obviously. Especially this year, Justin Allgaier has led the most laps in 5 of the last 6 Bristol races.
More Justin Allgaier. He was passed for the win in 3 of the last 7 Bristol races.
And he has also won 8 of the last 6 Bristol stages. Okay, maybe I'll go with Justin Allgaier, not the field.
Okay, now the last 13 Bristol races have been won by 12 different drivers. Noah Gragson is the only repeat winner during that span.
See, now I'm back to wanting to take the field. I can't decide. But you got to look at Joe Gibbs Racing. They've won 13 of the last 25 Bristol races, but are now winless in the last 7 races there.
Interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on that this weekend. Ryan Sieg finished inside the top 10 in the last 3 Bristol races, the only driver with an active streak of 2 or more. That's pretty interesting.
It is indeed. And I feel like we're picking on him, but the stats are the stats and the facts are facts. Bristol is one of 10 tracks where Sheldon Creed has finished runner-up.
14 runner-up finishes, and this is one of the tracks that he has. Okay, now we've got some drivers that are going to be in the Xfinity Series this weekend that have won at Bristol, but in the Truck Series. That includes all 3 drivers that I'm going to mention here have 1 win in the Truck Series at Bristol. Christian Eckes, Sam Mayer, and Corey Heim. Surprise, surprise.
This is really just a back and forth because I got to back up Justin Allgaier some more. He's finished in the top 5 in the last 5 races, which is his longest top 5 streak in the Xfinity Series is 6 races. And that happened back in 2019. So he's looking to match that.
He might be able to tie that record. Let's talk some more Justin Allgaier, and I'm going to add Sam Mayer in this one. They both lead all drivers with 6 top 10 finishes so far this season. So some nice stats there for Sam Mayer and Justin Allgaier.
And we go back to Allgaier by himself, though. He's the only driver to finish on the lead lap in all 8 races of 2025.
Junior Motorsports drivers have won 5 of the 8 fastest lap awards. So they seem to have that pretty much under under their reign there.
They do indeed. That's quite a statistic there for a new thing this year. Now, 4 races this year have ended with a last lap pass, and that's the most ever through 8 races in a season.
And 4 of the 8 races this season have gone into overtime. So no overtimes in the Truck Series, but we've got 4 of 8 that went into overtime in the Xfinity Series.
We're going to talk a little bit about Hendrick Motorsports and their number 17, which they've had on the track every race so far this year. It's finished second 3 times this season already, with William Byron at COTA, Circuit of America, Alex Bowman at Phoenix, and Chase Elliott last weekend at Darlington.
All right. We've been talking about this and something that I believe we're going to be tracking for a while. Junior Motorsports is 9 wins away from 100 wins for the organization. Only 3 other teams have won 100 Xfinity Series races. Joe Gibbs Racing at 217, Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing at 138, and then just recently, Richard Childress Racing with their 100th win under their belt this season.
9 more is a lot to do in one season, but they got 4 quality teams, drivers, so could be possible this season. We'll see how that pans out the rest of the year. One of them being Carson Cavapel, as he went from minus 11 below the playoff cut line to plus 25 in just the last 4 races. So he's on top of his game right now.
There you go. Daniel Dye, though, he's got an 11.0 average finish over the last 3 races, and that leads all 8 of the rookies.
And Chevrolet has led 1,026 of the 1,366 laps this season. It doesn't give me the percentage, but it's pretty high there in the 70 to 80% range.
Okay, well, we mentioned that Brennan Poole is in the Dash for Cash qualifier winners for this race. So we'll see if he can go after that bonus. He has finished better than he started in each of the last 7 races, including Martinsville, when he finished 4th after starting 29th. He might be trying to do a little bit better than that at Bristol.
Well, that's a good thing of always finishing better than where you started, no doubt. I told you we'd break down the additional or Dash for Cash with some more information. Highlight some things. It is the 3rd of 4 Dash for Cash races, as we've already had Miami and Martinsville. We'll do Bristol this weekend and then wrap up with Rockingham. This is one of the ones I knew we'd highlight. Justin Allgaier has won the Dash for Cash at Miami, which is his record 6th win. Now, Austin Hill picked it up at the Martinsville race, which was his 1st win. They took the weekend off from Darlington. And I already hit the eligible drivers. The 00 is Sheldon Creed. The 7 is Justin Allgaier. Austin Hill is in the number 21, and Brennan Poole for the first time in that number 44. The best finishing of these 4 Dash for Cash drivers will pick up a $100,000 bonus. And overall, the 2025 is the 17th season of Dash for Cash in the Xfinity Series, with a total of $6,125,000 awarded since the start of the program, and this one ranges back all the way to 2009.
And keep in mind, Xfinity is the sponsor of that Dash for Cash program, and I think one of the things we're waiting to get news on is Xfinity's leaving after this season, and we'll have a new sponsor next year.
That would be for the title sponsor. I don't know how that affects the Dash for Cash program. We'll have to wait and see and get some more details. But yeah, they are indeed, as you mentioned, leaving as far as the title sponsor of the series.
But we'll see if they stay on for that Dash for Cash program. That would be really great if that happens. I would love to see that. But it probably depends on who the title sponsor is.
Well, that's true. That could come into play.
Yes, indeed. Okay, now we do also have some additional information here. We've been talking about Justin Allgaier and how great he's been doing. He brings a very enviable record to the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Bristol Motor Speedway. And anyone who prizes numbers and statistics has to be impressed with Justin Allgaier's collective NASCAR Xfinity Series performance at Bristol Motor Speedway, a record he'll try to enhance on Saturday when they race out at Bristol. And again, you can watch that on the CW network. With 2 victories at the high-banked .533 mile short track, Allgaier is the only driver in Saturday's field who has won more than once at Thunder Valley. Kyle Larson is trying for a weekend triple. He's the only other former Bristol winner on the entry list. Allgaier has led 60 laps or more in the last 8 Bristol races. He's led the most laps in 5 of the last 6, and he's also won 8 of the last 16 stages at the track. So that is enviable. It's going to be hard to beat, but we'll see if Kyle Larson can do it. Now, the driver of the number 7 Junior Motorsports Chevrolet already has 2 victories to his credit this season and tops the Xfinity Series standings by a whopping 71 points over second place Sam Mayer in the Haas factory team. So it's no wonder that Allgaier approaches Sunday's race with, I would say, supreme confidence.
Certainly has reason to, and again, it being a dash for cash, there's even more reason to, as the SciAps 300 is that 3rd Xfinity dash for cash race of the season, him being one of the 4 eligible drivers along with Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, and Brennan Poole, as they go for that $100,000 bonus, going to the highest driver who finishes highest among the 4. Again, this one you have to be eligible.
Yes. Historically, Allgaier leads the series with a record 6 dash for cash victories.
And as we get ready to wrap up the Xfinity Series and Talk Cup, we'll add this. Jesse Love, again, currently 5th in the series standings for the Xfinity Series. Also has a lot to think about, though, this weekend. On Sunday, he'll be making his NASCAR Cup Series debut, as he'll be in the number 33 for Richard Childress Racing in one of their Chevrolets.
Okay, so go Jesse Love. Okay, who's your silly question? Who's this weekend? We were between Corey Heim and Kyle Larson in the Truck Series. Now it's Kyle Larson and Justin Allgaier.
But there again, yeah, Bristol, you got to look at, I think, Jesse Love, Sam Mayer, and Sheldon Creed. Again, of Sheldon Creed, I mean, I hate to say I'd pick him for second, but man, Bristol's one of those of, honestly, I wouldn't say there is a favorite. I know some statistics kind of push you towards Justin Allgaier with reason, but I think there's some others that could surprise us, and it goes beyond just him and Kyle Larson in this case.
So who's it going to be?
I'm going to go. Yeah, you're really going to push me into an answer, aren't you? No, honestly, I'm going to take 2. I'm going to go with the Haas factory team. Either Sam Mayer or Sheldon Creed finally get the win for Haas factory team.
Okay. And I'm going, as much as I want Kyle Larson to get his triple this weekend, I think I'm going to put my vote of confidence behind Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, it's tough not to, without a doubt. If he wins the Truck Series, it definitely adds that layer of intrigue. Can he do the triple? Again, Kyle Busch being the only one to do it, and it is impressive.
Yes, it is.
Even in top-notch equipment, which Kyle Busch was with KBM Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing, there's still so many factors, and we saw that with Kyle Larson at Homestead in the Xfinity as well as the trucks. There's a lot more than just you and your truck. It's who else is out on the track or the track itself.
That's so true. Do watch for more coming soon, though. We've completed the Truck Series preview at Bristol. This, of course, is the Xfinity Series preview for Bristol. Our next video will be the Cup Series. So, as I mentioned earlier, we'll publish the Xfinity and Cup Series previews tomorrow, Friday. Tonight, we will publish the Truck Series preview so that fans have plenty of time to check that out before their race tomorrow night. but do watch for more coming soon. And then I do want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in to our previous shows. We really appreciate you taking the time to hear what we have to say. We have a lot of fun doing them, and we hope you enjoy them as much as we enjoy doing these previews.
And even more than that, enjoy the Bristol Racing Weekend.
Yes, indeed. We'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.